Hello, everybody. We are deeply honored to be joined here today by His Excellency Mevlüt ÇAVUŞOİLU. His Excellency was born on the 5th of February, 1968, Antalya, Turkey. He received his bachelor's degree in international relations from Ankara University in 1988 and completed his master's degree in economics from Long Island University in New York in 1991. He also completed the expertise program on European Union and European Research Center at Ankara University in 1993. He started a PhD in international relations at Bilkent University as a special student and carried out research at the London School of Economics between 1993 and 1995 with the Jean Monnet Fellowship. Between 2003 to 2014 at the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, he worked as Vice President, Chairman of Turkish Delegation, Chairman of the Committee on Migration, Refugees and Population, Chairman of the Subcommittee on Migration, Chairman of the Subcommittee on Tourism Development, Member of Monitoring Committee, Committee on Economic Affairs. He's had quite the career, and without further delay, please help me in giving a warm welcome and joining His Excellency.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, first of all, thank you very much for the kind invitation. It's indeed a pleasure for me to be with you today and to share my opinions on different issues and challenges and opportunities that our societies have been facing, particularly in our region. I will not speak much. I will rather prefer that we have interactive dialogue, and I would like to answer your questions. But let me warmly welcome you all to my hometown and my constituency, Antalya. While you are having your discussions here, as the ministers, NATO ministers, we have been discussing many issues at another hotel. This morning we started with working breakfast. Secretary Kerry briefed us about his last visit to Russia, Sochi. And also he updated us the Iranian nuclear deal. We welcome the current achievements, and we are fully supporting this process, and we hope that by the end of June there will be a comprehensive deal between P5+1 and Iran. And I know that you are also discussing very serious issues, including hybrid warfare and several threats. And I'm not very good in all these technical details. And we also today discuss Afghanistan and how we can support Afghanistan beyond 2016 through Resolute Support mission. Turkey has been supporting Afghanistan and Afghan people, and we decided to increase the number of the personnel, military personnel in Afghanistan from 700 to 1,100. And we have been also supporting the development projects, and we have been training the police and the security forces of Afghanistan, both in Afghanistan and in Turkey. And we also discuss the situation in Ukraine. And Foreign Minister of Ukraine, Pavlo Klimkin, updated us. And we have been following how the Minsk agreement ceasefire has been implemented. Even though there are violations, we still support this Minsk agreement. But the situation in Crimea is another source of concern for all of us. And we send an unofficial delegation to Crimea to observe the human rights violations and or situations. And they are back, and I met them yesterday shortly. And they are going to finalize their report, and we will share that report with you as well. But what I learned from them, that situation in Crimea is getting worse and worse. And intimidation, harassment, attack particularly to the Crimean Tatar society. And so far, Russia didn't deliver nothing to Crimea. And it seems that Russia is not capable to deliver unless it builds a bridge over the sea or open a corridor from eastern part of Ukraine to Crimea. Obviously, that is the aim of Russia. Anyway, we all discussed these issues, and we are on the way to NATO Summit, Warsaw Summit, and we will discuss how can we review the NATO policies. Not only on the way to summit, but we need to review our policies to face the challenges coming from east, also from south. From east, I just mentioned Russia and the Black Sea region and Ukraine, Crimea, and we have also frozen conflicts, Nagorno-Karabakh, and South Ossetia and Abkhazia also became frozen conflicts or became conflicts without any solution. Transnistria is also another frozen conflict in this part of Europe and the world. And from east, the situation in Syria, Iraq, Yemen, from south, sorry, and also Libya, very fragile. We are fully supporting the ongoing efforts, United Nations efforts and the resolution, including the efforts of Mr. Leon in Libya. And we are supporting the ongoing negotiations. And I hope, and we hope, and there will be, at the end of the negotiations, there will be a national unity government. This is the only solution for Libya right now. The situation in Iraq is slightly better, since they have inclusive government. But this government, this administration has its own problems. Financial problems, security problems. They don't have proper security forces, and they haven't regained the confidence of the others in Iraq yet. And they need to get their support as well to fight Daesh, to get back Mosul and other territory of Iraq. Daesh is still forcing almost 30% of the territory of the country. And this is the main problem. And there are other issues, but we are, as Turkey, we are fully supporting Erbil and also Baghdad. And we started training the National Guards of Mosul, and which will be fighting Daesh to capture back Mosul from Daesh in the future. But the situation in Syria is disaster. And unfortunately, it's getting worse and worse. Daesh is very active, al-Nusra is growing, and the regime forces continue killing people through dropping barrel bombs and through airstrikes, through chlorine gas, and any other measures or weapons that they are using. And the opposition, moderate opposition, is fighting with all of them at different fronts, at the same time, at different fronts, particularly to defend the Aleppo. Aleppo is a very strategic city. It's historical, multicultural, multi-religious, multi-ethnic city, and there are more than 2 million civilians living there now. And can you imagine if Aleppo falls, how many of them will be forced to the Turkish border? We still keep this open border policy for the people fleeing from either terrorist organizations or the regime, and we are doing our best to support them. And we have more than 2 million refugees living in Turkey. According to the UNDP, this number will reach to 2.5 million by the end of year. And if Aleppo falls, another 2 million people might come to Turkey. We have been doing our best to support these vulnerable people, and we will continue doing our best, even though it's a huge burden on our shoulder. We have spent more than $6 billion so far, and what we receive from international community is only $300 million. But these are people, vulnerable people, and we must support them, and we will continue to support them, but this burden should be also shared. This is the only one of the humanitarian consequences of the situation in the region. There are IDPs, more than 8 million IDPs. There are refugees living in other neighboring countries as well. And there are missing persons. And the humanitarian consequences of this situation is also tremendous. And maybe I should stop here. But before that, we have been asking for better strategy to defeat the terrorist organization, also for political transformation in Syria, and also in Yemen and in Libya. So once again, thank you very much for this opportunity. See, Antalya is hosting all these events, and we are going to host G20 in November as well. So Antalya is not only about the sun and seas, as you see. And I have been a member of parliament representing Antalya for 13 years. I don't know when last time I swam in Antalya. Each time I come here, my party insists that I have to work harder and harder. Now I'm not a candidate due to the party rules. We cannot run more than 3 times consecutively. And this is my 3rd and last term in the parliament. Anyway, I was in the Turkish parliament not more than 6 months in total in the last 13 years. That's another story, but still I have to campaign. And tomorrow afternoon, I will restart the campaign here in Antalya. We are at the eve of the elections. Probably you already noticed due to the posters and the campaigns in all over the city and on the way to here. So once again, welcome to my beautiful city, the second most beautiful city in Turkey after Istanbul. Indeed, Istanbul is beautiful, very beautiful. But I have to say second after Istanbul because Istanbul is favorite of both president and prime minister. That's why I have to say that. Thank you.